Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I'm going to be talking about It 2019. So, It Chapter 2, and this is my casting for that. So, I want to talk about the characters I'm going to cast real quick. So, Richie, Bill, Ben, Beverly, Stanley, a few in there, Mike, and Eddie, okay? All right, so I just want to talk about their distinctors real quick. And actually, so I'll try to call out their distinctors as I call out who I would recast. And also, I just want to call out real quick the actors I am familiar with. I don't know all of the people who play. I don't know in my head each one, but there are some ones that I do know. So I just wanted to call out real quick. Richie is played by Finn Wolfhard, and he, of course, came from Stranger Things. Ben, who I think is a very talented actor, he is played by Jeremy Ray Taylor. Beverly is played by Sophia Lillis. And Eddie was played by Jake Dylan Grazer. Okay? And so there's, and actually every single one of the pros list protagonists were just really standout actors, and I think they did a great job. So, it is really cool, and it's a really fun movie because everybody's casting it now, and of course, just kind of as a thought exercise, and it is a super fun thought exercise. All right, so Richie. All right, so I'm sorry to start my casting with kind of an unoriginal pick, but I am going with the consensus of the internet on this. Richie has got to be played by Bill Hader. I think Bill Hader is super funny, and he really looks like Finn Wolfhard, and it's just that's lock solid casting. I really think Bill Hader should be. And the other thing is he has range, right? Like he's not just a funny guy, but he's a really good actor, and I think he'd do really good. All right, so Beverly, I would cast her as Tina Fey. I really feel that she's the right age, she has the right look. Of course they'll have to dye Tina Fey's hair red, but that's not a problem. I don't think it'll be an issue, right? And also, I should say, Richie, I want to try to call out the distinctors. So Richie, who would be played by Bill Hader, that is the smart aleck kid, right? And Beverly is she is the one of the characters that has really stark long red hair. Okay, and then Bill is the Bill specifically is the leader. Okay, so Bill is a really interesting one, and I would absolutely cast Ryan Gosling. So Ryan's a little young; he might have to be aged up just a bit, and I think that shouldn't be any problem. I think they should be able to do that practically without using special effects. But this movie made so much money; there's going to be enough money for special effects, I feel. I get the idea that the studio is thinking about not spending a lot on this. Maybe that's smart, because I do think it is kind of a truism that horror movies are made on a tight budget, and that good ones generally don't have a large budget. Now, I can't think of any exceptions to that. Let me know if you can. All right, so Eddie is the hypochondriac, and Eddie, I would cast Eddie as John Hamm. So I think John Hamm would be really good. I'm a huge fan of John Hamm, specifically from his role as Don Draper in Mad Men. But I have some sympathy for him as an actor, and the reason why is he is the biggest reason why I think he's having a hard time finding something after Mad Men, which is fine. I mean, he's set for life. I mean, Mad Men's a classic. But he wants to work, and I really think that's awesome that he wants to work. And he's trying to find a home, and I think he did a great job in the Baby Driver. He was fantastic in Baby Driver. So, which made me think even more. I think he's really talented, and I would really like to see him in this property. So Stanley is the kid who spent a lot of time in the synagogue studying the Talmud. And the person that I would cast as Stanley, as adult Stanley, is Jake Gyllenhaal. Okay. All right, and so then I think the next one would be Mike, and Mike they called him Homeschool. All right, and also he was the one who had fears about people burning to death. Okay, So those were his distinctors. And for Mike, I would cast Idris Elba. I think Idris Elba would be really, really good casting for Mike. Now, again, some of these actors are, maybe a little 5 years older or 5 years younger, but I think you can handle that with makeup. And if worse comes to worse, put a little CG on it, and CG gets cheaper every day. So I think you could handle it, but we'll see how where it goes. All right, so Ben is the researcher. He's the one that would showed him all about the pictures. He's the one who started the movie in the library. He really didn't have any friends. He's spending all his time in the library. Ben is awesome. Just turnkey casting. I think this is a lock. Sean Astin for the Samwise Gamgee actor for Ben. I think he would just be awesome casting. All right, so I am going to cast It. Well, everybody's like, wait, what? You're going to cast It? Wouldn't that be Bill Skarsgård? Bill Skarsgård did a tremendous job with Pennywise. A lot of people have given him credit for this, and a lot of people are talking about Bill Skarsgård for young Joker. I think that's a fantastic job. He actually looks like a young Jared Leto, and it would allow that Joker to stay in canon, the Jared Leto Joker. I don't think that Jared Leto did a fantastic job with the Joker, but unless they're going to burn everything down and build it back up, you got to keep him because there's just too much flopping around in that universe. So I think Bill Skarsgård did an amazing job with it. He's very, very talented, and so me recasting him this is 27 years later, and so I like the idea that the creature itself changes over time, and that each of these resting periods aren't just a hibernation, but that there's some transformation in the monster itself. So I would replace Bill Skarsgård, but not because he did a bad job, but just because he, I think it would lend some credence to the property, and it would really give an opportunity. The other thing is, I would like to see an It 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? I really subscribe to the theory that if you make a piece of art and it's bad, people can go and watch the stuff that's good, right? So I don't think it harms the property to go even beyond what Steven Spielberg wrote for it. In addition to that, so who's my casting for It? I'll get it out there. Shia LaBeouf. I am a big fan of Shia LaBeouf. I think he's a super talented actor, and I think he would crush this role. And so I just do want to make sure that everybody understands. I'm not recasting Bill Skarsgård because he didn't do a great job. He did a great job. I just think for the story, it would be there's an opportunity in allowing somebody to play It differently in each film. And it makes the character more monstrous. And it means that 27-year gap, there's something important there. So I think that's really an interesting thought. I really like that idea a lot. And so that is my casting for the movie It. Please, if you have time, let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know if there's a particular character you think there's a better fit for, or if I got it wrong on any of these. I'm really excited about the It movie. I thought it was an excellent film. I'm going to say something interesting here. I thought I had read the It book. I really did. I had not read the It book. That was very clear to me. I've read like 480 books in my lifetime, and I keep a list on Goodreads, and I've read no less than, I think I've read about 40 to some, like at least 40, maybe as high as 60 Stephen King books. And but I had never read it, and the reason why I know that is in order to do this, I was reading up on Wikipedia on some of the characters in the book versus in the film, and I clearly had never read It. And the reason why was there was things in there I was like, what? That happened in the story? So I'm actually convinced that the movie is better than the book. Absolutely better than the book. And the reason why is I think this is not me saying an opinion. This is a sheer fact that has been declared by Stephen King. Stephen King was a man of excess at different times in his life. He has thoroughly admitted that. And there are some excesses in the It book, things that were left out of the film that absolutely needed to be left out of the film. And so I actually think that the It movie is better than the It book. And with that said, I think it puts even more importance on getting this thing rolling and making sure that this is finished well, because I think it's one of the best horror films to be done in a long time, and it really captured the zeitgeist. People were excited to see it, and I think it's cool to have a horror film out there that is better than its source material. And the idea of this jump, this 27-year jump, really puts a really unique opportunity on Hollywood, that you have these kids and then you're going to recast them as adults. And honestly, I want 3 and 4 after that. I want them to build 2 so that we can have another 3 and 4 after that. And they can put that anywhere they want. They can, they could make it 27 years after that and 27 years after that. Or they could tell another story of Derry maybe 27 years before. I would love to see what happened in the 50s or what happened in the 30s, what happened in the 1890s in Derry. Yeah, bring it, like all that. That could be pretty cool. So that's my casting for It. Take care.